What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time. Just don't eat me up. Like, life, pretty much, my shirt says it. I'm living B. I've been living B. B been living. So, let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Millennial Generational Curse Breakers, or MGCB for short. We do a lot of things here. We got community, we got faith talk, we got real talk, we got sisterhood and marriage and different little pockets of people who are watching, and that is just something that we we try to keep up with each other, and we try to keep each other lifted up in this world. The last time you saw me, it was the summer, honey. I'm an educator, so when the summer is summering, you got a lot of free time, But then school started, and to say the least, it's been a lot. School started, my baby went to school. Me and my husband launched a business. I mean, I've been like real serious with my health journey and exercising. So the schedule really just took its own way. It took the road less traveled. So it meant we had to have a little bit of a break, but I'm so glad I'm back. And the thing that keeps bringing me back is literally knowing why I started this channel. Because when God gave me the vision of making a video, being in front of people, sharing, loving, just pretty much sharing my aspects and my point of view, literally he won't let me leave it undone. Like, that's how you know the difference between if God told you to do something or if you told yourself to do something. Because God will give you conviction. He will literally be on your shoulder like, hey, I told you to do that, right? Like, I didn't forget. Like, he won't let me forget it. And so many times I prayed, like, God, I haven't been able to record. Like, it's so inconsistent of me. I wonder if I'll still have people who watch. I wonder if it'll still be relevant. And God told me, just do it. So here I am, just doing it. So welcome back, everybody who's watching, old and new. I hope that this reaches you. I hope that you're doing well, and you're staying prayed up and you're staying uplifted in this world, because it's crazy. Just a few things. Never would have thought that growing up in the 90s, that being an adult would be real crazy. Like, I seen a meme the other day, and it was like, growing up in the 90s, you thought you had the best childhood, and then you realize that you are an adult during the worst time of the world. I'm gonna go with that. I mean, probably second worst, I would say being an adult during like the crack epidemic and like those times. That was probably crazy. Like when AIDS popped out and crack started, that was probably crazy because we didn't know. Like, nobody knew. So a lot of people lost their life because of lack of knowledge. Hey, when God says stuff, it's just popping in my brain. He really mean that. He said my brothers will perish due to lack of knowledge. And that gets it every time. So for me, I'm trying to be knowledgeable in all things I need to be. And if it's hard, I'm just going to keep trying. Amen. So welcome back. And, if y'all really rock with me, y'all going to be so excited to see this video pop up. Please check it out. Maybe you'll get something from it, a little nugget, a little gem. Join the conversation. This is the thing I really want. I want my channel to be an open platform for people to write in questions, write in topics, really like join the conversation. We can even go live and talk about it, because there are things that we still to this day need to talk about. And my first thing on the agenda is health. Now, whatever you idealize as health, that's what we're gonna talk about. What is healthy to you? Because some people will say, I'm healthy because I'm skinny. Some people will say, I'm healthy. Some people will say, I'm healthy because I'm skinny. Or some people will say, I'm healthy because I can run a mile without being out of breath. Some people will say, I'm healthy because I drink a lot of water. What is health to you? Drop that in the comments. What is health to you? How do you symbolize health? Like, what is that to you? To me, it has completely changed. Because I'm gonna take you back to a time where I was younger. Let's give a little disclaimer. I was always a chunkier kid. Okay, always the chunkiest kid. You know, really self-conscious. Was bullied. You know, a lot of things happened, and those are a lot of the things that I still carry with me today as a 31-year-old woman, and what really impacts me as being someone's parent. But we're gonna get into it. But when I used to see people who were skinny, I would automatically think that they were healthy. Like, no shadow of a doubt. Because I just thought fat men bad, so I'm unhealthy, you're healthy. I've grown to learn that being a bigger person doesn't always mean that you're unhealthy. Yes, you do need to, work to get your body mass index and, different things to go away like diabetes, but sometimes it be a skinny person who struggle with diabetes. I'll never forget one of my bestest friends in high school became a diabetic. And I was like, you're on the basketball team. You're fit. What do you mean you have diabetes? And I don't have it? Like, it really does something to your mind. And it's crazy because we grow up with like this really like rigid ideal like of things because we get it from our parents, but it just ends up evolving and it like blows my mind. Like, honestly, I used to be like, well, they healthy, that's why, or they automatically healthy because they can walk to the bus stop and not be out of breath. Honey, but the way that they ate, they're on the way to somewhere else. So it's really like, it it's a conundrum. That's my favorite word. It's a conundrum because it's just mind-boggling to me. But let's tie it in to breaking generational curses and why health is one of those big topics to me, because I just know, growing up the way I did, like, I wasn't someone who went hungry, right? Like, I was blessed to have two hardworking parents who would give what you want, sometimes more of what you want than what you need. And that's no tea, no shade, because hey, you're a parent, it's your first child, you're trying to figure it out. Like, I think having my own child has really given me so much grace just to know, like, your parents didn't do that to you on purpose. They was doing the best that they could. And sometimes the best that they could was McDonald's a few times a week, or fried this, or no vegetables, or just the wrong foods, or a whole bunch of them. So growing up like that, I already started with a unhealthy relationship with food. I could eat 2 packs of noodles. I think, honestly, and we talking about maybe like middle school, the most packs of noodles I've eaten at once was 3. And now, if I was to look back, I am appalled and ashamed. Because first of all, they done tricked us. The videos that I've seen about what they put to make the noodle and then how much salt in it, it is a blessing that I'm here to tell the story today. Woo, I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, like, I didn't have to go hungry. There may have been times where, my mom cooked something that I didn't like, or my dad tried to make me eat something that I didn't like pig feet. How dare us? How dare us if escape slavery and then bring the slavery with us? How dare you try to make your child eat pig feet? That's not the part of the pig I'm choosing. Give me the bacon, give me the neck. Pig feet, crazy. But I'm only saying that now because I know. But as a kid, before I was aware, I think I ate it a couple of times. I'm gonna be honest. Call a spade a spade. Because that was what my environment was. That was what my culture was. So it's like growing up that way, I already was getting these building blocks against me of like, this is how you eat. You get a whole bunch of this, you get a whole bunch of rice, you put the gravy on it, with the biscuits, and that's just good eating. That's just like soul food. Your parents don't have to worry about you going to the school and saying that you ain't got fed because they know that you ate. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it was my activity level wasn't matching up. And now, knowing what I know now, I was destined to be a bigger kid because if you're not in no sport or just simply moving and you eat that much, that's where the weight comes. That's where all the extra fat comes. So like I began to be the big kid, the obese kid, the big girl. And I think my mom, she knew what the big girl was to people. Like it was gonna be a slash down the middle. Either on this side, they was gonna like you and think that you were so pretty for a big girl. Don't get me started. Or you was gonna get bullied. So my mom, she tried her best to protect me and to make me the flyest, pretty, big girl. As long as you can say that I'm big, you gonna have to add in her hair is always done. She got on jewelry. She got on nice sneakers. She don't smell. Like these are all of the monumental lessons I got as a kid, and that I feel like all of it was wrapped around so that nobody noticed that you big, that you a fat girl. And literally, I think I was like 26 when I realized my whole being was based around my body type because I had taken that as identity. Like I'm big Brandy, I'm big girl. Like I'm gonna look good, smell good, do all these things just so you don't ever think that you could say, anything negative about me. But some people did. Of course, there were some people who would, in a heated argument, throw it up. You fat, blah, 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 blah. But I got better clothes than you. Those are my comebacks. My hair's always done. Look at yours, So it's like it was giving you some type of pride. But that didn't deter away from what was actually happening with my health. At the age of 10, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. 10 years old, having to literally take high blood pressure medicines, see a doctor. The doctor is giving you all of these different foods that you can eat, telling you what things you can't eat, is a lot for a 10-year-old. And I don't know if any of y'all know, but high blood pressure medicine is like not nothing to play with. You lose your hair. You pee a lot because it's like a diuretic. It's a lot of things that happen with high blood pressure medicine. And being on it at the age of 10 is very early and it's very scary because usually high blood pressure leads to other things. So I was on high blood pressure medicine from 10 to about maybe like 18, 19. So that's a long span of time to have something getting pumped in your body to regulate how much salt you eat. and that's chips. Like I said, ramen noodles. Ramen noodles, that packet and all of the mg, the sodium, that's a lot of salt. You know, fried things and Lawry seasoning salt, because you're not black. If you ain't had Lawry seasoning salt in your house, your food don't taste good if you don't got it. These days, I don't use Lawry seasoning salt. So I guess I'm not black enough anymore, but that's fine. I'm healthy enough. I try to really go for no salt, because the side effects of having high blood pressure at such a young age, I mean, you would get headaches that were so debilitating, like you wouldn't be able to go to school. How is it that I'm not able to go to school because my blood pressure is so high? And I mean, we're not talking about a little high. We're talking about high stroke level. Like, they're asking you, are you okay? How are you able to walk? How are you able to talk to us? There was so many things that, like, I can popcorn them out, like hospital bills and emergency room visits, running out of medication. It was just not a life that I would have wanted for anybody, but also I didn't even know, like, the vicious cycle that I was already in. And my parents were doing the best that they could to try to address it, but it was just kind of like lack of knowledge, when you don't have the awareness to know, you kind of just fall into this like slippery slope. So I'm gonna still feed you this because I can afford this, or this is what the whole house is eating, but now I have to switch gears and cook you something different. So it really became like a whole change of how you saw food. And it continued again, like, as I got older, I started working, I started doing different exercises, and like not too much because not consistent. But in high school, I was more active. As I'm walking to the bus stop with my friends, and we go to concerts, we doing this. So right after high school, probably like going into college, it just started disappearing. Like, I didn't need it anymore. I didn't need the medicine. They would ask me and check in and take my pressure, and it was just wasn't high enough to take medicine. And honestly, to this day, like, I'm marveled at the fact, because I'm not going to make it like I was literally eating clean. No. What I say, I was in high school and in college. Nobody eats clean in high school or college unless you like already knew what to do. So when I think of how that happened, I think that was one of those testimonies of, I know God is real. I know God saved me, and he gave me another chance to do better, because I could still be on that medicine today at 31. And high blood pressure is no joke. Diabetes is no joke. All of those things compound together, and it steals and it robs your joy and your quality of life. And anybody who is dealing with those things, I pray that you find a resolution, a solution, to what you can change in order to help yourself. And don't be afraid to reach out, get a nutritionist, get somebody who can literally be honest with you and say, hey, these things are the things that are, etching off years of your life. So, going forward into college, though I didn't have high blood pressure anymore, still very much a good eater. I mean, you got your own money. Everybody know, when you was a kid, your mom told you didn't have McDonald's money. But when you start working your own job, it's something about it. You can buy whatever you want, whenever you want, because you drive. So you can be at Louis. Louis was one of the favorites of mine. And if you from Buffalo, New York, you know what Louis is. I'm not sure if they have them other places. Never thought about it. But it's a place where you can get freshly grilled in front of you hamburgers, hot dogs, fresh fries, and they have this chili sauce, and then they can put all of the different toppings on it. Hey, friend, you can get a box, a box of hot dogs, maybe like 10 hot dogs in there with the sauce, the cheese, and all that. We're talking about maybe like $10 or $12. That's back then. Now it's probably insane. But like, yeah, I'm eating 3 hot dogs in one sitting with some fries and maybe even a burger. And this is like midnight because they don't close till like 4 a.m. And then guess what I'm doing after that? Going to bed. Like, come on now. So like, even thinking about it, I got the taste of it in my mouth. But when I think about how it made my body feel, I'm like, kind of like a little nauseous a little bit. So these are like really moments where I'm like, this is building up to my adulthood and how I got to the point where I was etching to 400 and something pounds. And I had never been that heavy as a kid or as a teen, but the older I got, the more resources I got, the more money I got, the more food I ate. And it was because no one literally sat me down and taught me how to eat. Like, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. Like, I never got that. We would eat salads and, you would get a vegetable. It probably wouldn't be the greenest vegetable. It might have been cooking down a little bit. And your salads might have a whole bunch of stuff in it. The ghetto salads, the hood salad. And I'm not, at no point in this video do I want anybody to feel judged or like I'm speaking holier than thou. Because some of the things that I'm telling y'all I used to do, I will try to recreate those things and have them at the house now. A ghetto salad stays in rotations a couple of times a month. Not really. Not a couple of times a month. A couple of times every few months. Because what's a salad if you can't get a little ham, a little bacon bit, a little egg? You know what I'm saying? So it's just learning that I can have those things, but it's not every day, and it's not the only way I can eat them. The things that I eat now versus the way I grew up, even my own mother and brother are like, who taught you that? That's gross. Like, ew. So, like, it's taken a very long time for me to learn how to eat, learn what foods I should be eating, how much of those, and I attribute it to having such a long period of time where I was not feeling good. Like, the thing that people don't talk about with being a bigger person, an obese person, they don't talk about the mental, like, warfare that you go through. Like, going to Disneyland or going to Darien Lake and you can't ride the rides. Or getting on an airplane and you too afraid to ask for a seatbelt extender. Like, these are things that literally I'm undoing as an adult. Going somewhere knowing that you can't walk too far or that you're gonna start sweating, so like avoiding it. No, I don't want to go. You know what I'm saying? Or just even feeling the feeling of being insecure, like going to the parties. We know in the 2000s, the parties were a thing, okay? So like going to a party with all people who are smaller than you and feeling like either nobody's looking at you because of your size or they grabbing you to dance with you and stuff to kind of like make fun of your size, if that makes sense. Like, it's not genuine either way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of things that go with being, a chunky kid or a fat kid or whichever way you want to say it that really, like, it takes up root in your brain, like in your mental, and it takes even much more persistence to undo the mindset that you have created. So when I talk about breaking generational curses, I'm thinking about that experience for me, the experience that I've shared with other people, that other people have told me, and literally standing today and saying, no, it's not going to be me anymore. We're going to shake off and work off what we have built on that doesn't serve us, but also for my own child. I'm not going to set you up to think that you should be eating fast food that many times, or you should be eating large amounts of food, because as a kid, you don't know. Your parents are the gurus. So when you ask them for something, or when you do something, that is what you know, that they're the master. You were telling me this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm gonna do it. So it's literally like, hey, either you're going to follow the people who you know and the people who you trust, or you're not going to be able to figure it out. And as a kid, you want to figure it out. So, I think when we say breaking generational curses, it comes like this flash statement that everybody just says, like health over wealth or generational wealth. It really goes deep into every single thing that we have literally been doing our whole lives. Food, finances, relationships, emotional capacity, emotional regulation. Like, these are all things that can be taught incorrectly, and then you carry it on for generations. So food for me has been like one of my Achilles heel, to say the least. Like, I go back and forth because, again, you're the one breaking the curse. So you're by yourself when you're trying to eat differently, or eat different foods, or move your body more, because the people before you, if they were doing that, they would have taught you. So now it's like I'm having to single-handedly show and prove this new being who God is creating in me, and I'm showing to other people this is a new way of life. And in my family they are supportive, but sometimes they can be resistant because, again, your way. I'm showing you a totally new way, and that could make you feel, scared, or honestly just like apprehensive. So a lot of things that I have been doing recently have been literally aggressively trying to break down the the generational curse of obesity. Obesity, poor health, poor cardio health, and just stagnation. Like, feeling like you can't go and enjoy an amusement park because of your weight, or you go to the amusement park or the go-karts and you can't get in. You don't feel comfortable. You don't feel, like you should be able to do it. And it's like, the first time, honestly, I'll share this. This was last Thanksgiving. Last Thanksgiving was the first time I was able to get inside a go-kart, drive, have fun, like, and not be spilling over or not able to put the seatbelt on. Like, this is last year. And I'm telling you, I haven't done that since early childhood. So, like, those things are monumental. And honestly, I'm holding back tears because I remember how horrible it would make you feel to not be able to get on with your friends or go to birthday parties, or, you know, do normal fun things because you can't fit. Like, and they don't make them, accessible, because some things are made just super narrow, and if you have hips and stuff, it really just doesn't help. But honestly, like, those are the things that keep me going. So what have I been doing? What do you do? How are you doing this? Well, first, I'm going on year 2. Yeah, year 2. Following a meal plan. It is a plan I bought from this woman named Tony on TikTok. She goes by Fine Fit Fitness on TikTok, and she comes off as a bully. A lot of people think, okay, she's real tough and rough, but the knowledge that she shares about her journey of being someone who was big, then somebody who was small, then someone who was, working with a personal trainer but still eating wrong and still eating extra things, and how she just really could not get the goal body that she wanted. And she cracked the code. Like, she talked about literally your day to day. She pulled all your business out on the street of the TikTok live and made you think, like, do I do that? Yeah. So I took a chance. My husband, he was watching as well, and he was like, hey, I think we should do it. What can hurt? I think I paid maybe $30 for her 90-day plan. And it basically asks you to put in all of your, like, height, weight, activity level, with your goals, and it'll tell you how much food you need to eat to lose a certain amount every week. And I just literally said, hey, I'm the type of person who already packs lunches because I like to save a coin. That's something that's always been in me. But how about I work on packing lunches that are actually good for me, like not pizza and like big bowls of spaghetti and stuff like that. Like, let me pack fully thought out, proportioned meals and really just see how it goes. So I did it for 30 days. I lost maybe like 6 or 7 pounds. And this is just eating, this isn't exercising. I just said, let me do it again. I just kept starting over. Every 30 days, I just kept going. And by the time I was at the end of the 90-day mark, I had lost like almost 30 pounds. And I was like, whoa. So I can just eat what she said, how much of it she said, cook the way she said, eat dessert of the choices of the dessert on the meal plan every day. Didn't really work out, but lost 30 pounds. Something clicked, and I was just like, I'm about to do this for the rest of my life. Like, it wasn't hard, it wasn't restrictive. She had burgers, tacos, pizza, ice cream on the plan, but I was still losing weight, and it was like, really? That's interesting. So I kept going, and I'm here today. I use the same principles from those first 90 days in my everyday life today. Sometimes I get other recipes from other places, but the foundation of it is a healthy relationship with food, and it came from her. And I just truly, like, if I ever got to meet her, I'm gonna thank her from the bottom of my heart, because literally she saved my life. I was etching up to the mid 400s. I was having postpartum depression. I, like, literally just did not feel my age. Like, I felt weighed down, and I was just looking at this baby that I just had, and I'm like, how am I going to chase you around when you get two? Like, when you start moving, I'm going to be the parent that has to sit on the sideline, and then your dad is going to be having to do all of the physical stuff because he's, smaller and more in shape. And I didn't want that for me. I didn't want that for her. Like, my daughter literally will run circles, but I'll be right with her now, because you should have a parent that can play with you and get on their knees and, horseplay, instead of just being like, go ahead now. I'm out of breath. Go ahead, go play. I mean, and she's the only child, so it's like, what else is she gonna do? She doesn't have anybody else to bounce it off of. So, like, that's how I started. After the 90 days, I started slowly doing 30-minute workouts and trying to be consistent with those, like, really just showing up. Can I go through the whole thing? If I only can do 20 minutes, at least I did something. And that started with YouTube. I am not a person who loves the gym just because of, the gym-esque, people looking at you, people taking up the machines. I've gotten sick from the gym so many times to count, like literally full-blown bacterial infections, respiratory infections, because I touched some nasty machine after somebody else. Plus, also, I ain't got that money for that. Like, I'm gonna do what I can do from the crib. So I began to build a home gym. Home gym is a little bit fancy. I have a corner where all my workout things live, and I use that whole side as my home gym. Now, when I get me another house, I aspire to have a home gym, like a room instead of a corner. But I thank God, because I had never had a home, anything to do with exercise that was actually being used. So I thank God for what I have and what He's going to bless me with as I continue to go through this life. In the beginning, I started out doing just, YouTube workouts. My favorites are Mike Peel, dancing, workouts, cardio. Grow with Joe, she does strength and cardio. And then I tiptoed one day and I found this woman. And I call her my workout bestie, Tanya the introvert. Tanya literally gave me so much encouragement to push through anything that was ever going wrong with me. Like, if I didn't feel like it, if my baby was crying, if, I just felt like I didn't have time or I was tired, she really just gives you like a real snapshot of what life is. And, most YouTube videos are like real perfect, and, they're in a little studio and it's staged, and no tea, no shade, because we need that too. But Tanya was in her house in a corner like me with the weights and stuff that she got from Five Below. Her children is running around. Well, at this time, she only had one son, and her son was crawling in the video. She would have to pause, and she was still getting it in, like, and she didn't push you to hurt yourself. She always talks about joints and low impact. She would get you a good 30 minutes. You would be sweating and you would feel really good about yourself. And to this day, I still work out with her. And another thing that really like encouraged me to just really lock in with her is she became pregnant, y'all. And she worked out the entire pregnancy. I know what you're saying. Oh no, I'm sitting down. I ain't got time for that. She worked out the entire pregnancy. Under her doctor's orders, he said it was fine. To see a woman holding a baby in her uterus and doing some arm presses and glute days and different stuff. I was like, she's a baddie. Like, I really was like, I want to like redo. Like, I want to redo. Because if I knew that, I would have been way more active with my daughter than I was. And I now know a lot of the complications I had during delivery was because I was so like sedentary. I sat, I laid, I just did not move that much. So like seeing her do that and like watching her have her baby, you know, build this postpartum body, because the body be bodying, okay? Her body literally like, oh yeah, I didn't even mention this part. She's 40 something. I don't want to quote. She's older than me. So she's doing this, older than me, pregnant, and her life mirrors my life. Oh, I literally to this day, I even sometimes talk to her on TikTok and I'm like fangirl a little bit because she's such an inspiration to me and she's the reason why I've gotten as far as I have gotten to today. Like, she is the person who has me doing something to be active and to have movement every single day. And I've never done that in my life. To have a schedule on my refrigerator of every day I'm either walking or working or targeting a body group, I have never done that in my life. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in. I'm the best physical head, like the confidence that I have to do certain things. I looked at myself and I'm like, for real? Like getting in that go-kart, doing a 5K with my husband, walking far distances, I want to go hiking, I want to go kayaking. Like, these are things that in the past I would have been like, no. And it's like all of these people who God put in my path literally is continuing to build a better Brandy, who is all just not losing weight, but she's really undoing a generational curse for her own kid and for her family. Like, I was able to get my brother on a meal plan and, you know, get him to eating differently and literally just doing what I know I would have wanted done for me if someone knew. Like, it's honestly, y'all, y'all are not about to get me to be crying on this YouTube, but it makes me so full and so thankful, and just I just have so much gratitude of the journey that I have had, like, honestly, because I look at food as nutrition and sustenance, and sometimes I'm like, ooh, that look good, but also, is that gonna hurt me? Like, not is it gonna make me gain weight, but like, is my stomach gonna be okay? You know, will I live to fight another day? Do I need all of that? And honestly, it's so hard these days because food is so readily available. Like Uber Eats, DoorDash. I mean, we have watched mukbangs where people are eating large, large amounts of food. So, like, it makes you think it's okay too. But it's crazy because, like, once that person gets sick, have a heart attack, we move on to the next person. So their whole life in a snapshot was to give us entertainment and kill themselves at the same time. So it's like, I'm choosing different. And I've had enough of feeling less than, feeling held back, of feeling any type of negative feelings about myself as it pertains to weight. And honestly, like, when I started this journey, I literally did a 30-day social media cleanse, and I literally prayed, God, please give me the power to be consistent to myself, to keep the promises that I've made to myself, to have willpower, to have dedication, and to want to really change myself from inside out. And it started with my mind. And once my mind began to change, then I started to see my body change, and just like being able to say, like, I had to give away, I had to get new clothes this summer because everything was big. And that's a good problem to have, but it was like a part of me was holding on to the clothes as if like I was going to get bigger again. Because in the past, I haven't been a dependable or a trustworthy person to myself. Like, I've lost weight before. I've done a keto. I've done Atkins. I've even pondered surgery. But I always told myself, if I don't know how to eat, and I'm still weak in the flesh of, if I see some food that's good or a double, triple burger, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to waste everybody's time. The doctor's time. I'm going to waste my money. And it's going to just put me back into a spiral. So, like, I really wanted to pick something that I knew that I could do, and that I knew that I could continue to do for the rest of my life with no fail. Like, some days, yeah, I eat something that I didn't cook at home. Yeah, some days I eat something that I didn't weigh out, but I don't eat the whole day crazy. I go back to it. I now know, okay, I can swap these things so that I can still, be a part of the group or go out to dinner. I don't have to eat crazy just to fit in. So it's like, honestly, it's been a full journey, and I think you guys have been around for parts of it, but there's a lot of internal work that God is doing with me. Like, He is literally molding me on that potter's wheel, and He is literally like, I'm gonna add some of this, I'm gonna add some of this, like, and He's smoothing out the things that are rough, and He's keeping me, y'all, because any journey that you go on, you're gonna be tested. There's gonna be times when you want to be like, oh, I don't think this is working, I want to quit. You literally have to keep going and remember what was your purpose, what was your reason for doing it in the first place. Because every time I look at my daughter and I can see that she likes vegetables, fruits, she's asking for avocado, and she's asking for a salad, and she's running and playing outside, I'm like, I'm going to keep going so I can be right next to you, so that I can continue to be a model of what you should do. And yeah, she's had McDonald's. She don't eat McDonald's every day, and really not even a few times a week. Maybe it's like once every blue moon, but it's like, you're going to know that good food starts at home. Good food comes out your kitchen. And that's where a lot of fat loss happens. And we get confused, like, oh, I need to hurry up and get to the gym and be in the gym for an hour. And that's cool. But if you leave the gym, go to Chipotle, eat like a whole burrito with some chips and some guacamole and some queso, all these things I like. Do that, keep doing it. You're going to be as thick as a linebacker because you're bulking now. You have to literally be in a calorie deficit that's going to shred, not to the point you're starving, because I'm against that too. Any person who know me, the people at my job, they be always like, your lunches, your breakfasts, how do you do it? What time do you have? Hey, I make time for the things that I know I need. I know that I need to meal prep. So Friday, Saturday, I'm grocery shopping, and I'm setting up a meal prep, and not only for me, but my husband, my daughter. We eat what we cook most of the week. Literally, the only times that you will see us literally eating out is like Friday night, we got pizza, or a Saturday. But it's become a part of our routine. It's become our house, our home life. So like, I know that win or lose or fail, if I happen to miss a workout day, I know exactly what I ate. I know how much of it I ate, and I know that it's still gonna work for me. Um, but these days, I enjoy getting a little pump. I mean, I'm kind of turning into like a low key gym rat a little bit. I take my little creatine, and it turned me into a little super saiyan, because when I get a good workout in, the energy that I get, I'm ready to go. Like, and it's times I have to push myself to do it, especially because I work out at 5 a.m. now. That's another thing. There has never been a time I have gotten up at 5 a.m. on purpose. I don't even care if I had a job. I have been getting up at 5 a.m., y'all. That's why you can see my eye getting a little lazy. I'm up at 5 a.m. I'm working out for 30 minutes. I'm showering. I'm getting ready for work. I'm going to work. Why I gotta get up at 5 a.m.? For me, last year, I would literally be dashing from work to get home, to then pick up my daughter, get her settled, then work out, then do dinner, then prep for the next day. It just became like, it wasn't healthy for my mental state. And I felt like I was just always in a rat race. So this year I said, I've listened to enough motivational speakers. Let me try and see if I can do it. So I started 5 a.m. workouts back in July. It is now September. I have successfully at least done 4 days straight of a 5 a.m. workout, and still been able to come home, get my daughter, um, and we can spend mommy and daughter time. We can, I can be at ease knowing that I already got my exercise for the day, and I've already got my steps, and I literally can just move into the day, move into the night. So these are all of the things that I'm doing, and it's building me into being a different person. And I think once you start to make those changes, everything else falls in place. Like my marriage, my relationships, like me being active and being able to do different things, or just having a different mental state, getting up in the morning, it's brought me closer to God. Like literally, if I don't think if I would have never taken this journey serious, that I would be where I am now in my faith, because it has pushed me into an aggressive thirst for God. Because when you're doing things that are literally stripping away old and tattered pieces of you, you have to have something else there to build you back up. And for me, seeking into the goodness and the pretty much the restoration that God brings me while reading his word, and literally just becoming a new thing, right? Like becoming a new creation in Christ is literally like, it's amazing. Like I could not have pictured this being me at 31. So if you are someone who feels like you've put down something, you put down your health journey, your weight loss journey, you've put down your relationship with God, you've put down something that you want to do, that idea, that business, that dream, pray to him and ask for direct clarity on if that thing is something that he wants you to do, Or is it something that should be forgotten? And if you get the answer that says keep going, you have to be obedient. And right now I'm in my obedience. I'm in obedience season, which I think is going to just be a season that keep on going. It's never going to stop, because when I wake up in the morning at 5 and I might be a little tired from the night before, obedience kicks in. Because do you want this? Do you really want this? Is this something that you are really trying to do for yourself? Is this a way that you can keep your promises to yourself today? Now, some days I really do have to take a rest, right? Like, you don't want to hurt your body and deprive yourself of real good rest. But we have to weigh, is it rest or is it procrastination? Is it rest or I just ain't feel like it today? Because feelings will get you jacked up. Because you will feel like not doing a workout, but then you want to go out. I thought you didn't feel like doing. I thought you didn't have the energy. Like, these are questions that I ask myself. Like, you can't say you don't feel like it, and then you feel like doing something else that doesn't really serve you. So it's like, make it make sense. If it's not going to serve you, why even put your energy in it? If it's going to just further deter you off of the route that you want to be on. But this is my new life. I'm here to answer any questions. Maybe you want to join. Hey, I'm always looking for somebody who want to share recipes with me and be as pumped about working out with me. You know, we're here as a community together. That's the whole reason why this channel exists. And just know the things that you are doing for your health, for yourself, as moms especially. Well, dads too, but speaking from a mom's perspective, when I get up in the morning and I get my workout, I give myself that time to pray, to meditate, to worship, I'm a much better person for the rest of my family, for the rest of the day. I'm able to give and do way more than I would do if I was like sedentary and stagnant. Like, I'm able to refill my cup. And that's what it's about. Refill your cup with water, not juice. Bars. But yeah, I'm so happy to be back, y'all. Now, bear with me while I figure out a concrete schedule on when I will be recording the next video. But until then, drop in the chat, drop in the comments. What is healthy? What is a healthy lifestyle to you? What is health to you? And what's one thing that you want to do to get better on your health journey? Is it something that you put down and you want to pick it back up? Is it something that you want to try? I'll tell y'all real quick. These are the foods that I can tell you for sure were not in my house when I grew up. I hated up until maybe like a year ago. You ready? Here's the list. Avocado, chickpeas, cottage cheese, egg whites with no yolk, muscadines, grapefruit. What else? Zucchini, Brussels sprouts. I'm almost on 10 fingers. These are things that I can absolutely tell you I did not grow up eating. I hated them. And then something happened where now I love these foods because I know what they give to my body and I know how they benefit me. So maybe it's time for a change. Maybe you can share something with me. Maybe you have already been on your journey longer than I have and you have some words of advice, some tidbits, some gems. Share those too. But until next time, let's keep breaking those curses.